Alright, so question number 71. Thank you, Ringo. You are on a motorway in fog. The left-hand edge of the motorway can be identified by reflective studs. What color are they? Green, umber, red, and white. You are on a motorway in fog. The left-hand edge of the motorway can be identified by reflective studs. What color are they? So in the left-hand edge of the motorway, it's red. So the answer would be red, which is number 3. Okay, question number 72. You are about to go up a steep hill. To control the speed of your vehicle, you should select a higher gear and use the brakes carefully. Select a higher gear and use the brakes firmly. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. Select a low gear and avoid using the brakes. So how should you control your vehicle when you're going uphill? How should you control your vehicle when you're going uphill? What would be the answer? Salamun. You're about to go up a steep hill. To control the speed of your vehicle, you should Salam. So the right answer is select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. Okay, you have just passed this light. What hazard would you expect to see next? So if you pass this light, what hazard would you see next? A level crossing with no barrier, an ambulance station, a school crossing patrol / children crossing the road, an opening bridge. You just passed this light. What hazard would you expect to see next? Yeah, so it's going to be one of these two, okay? So either it's going to be a school crossing patrol or it could be children crossing the road. They're both the right answers. Number 3. A toucan crossing is different from other types of crossing in what way? A toucan crossing is different from other types of crossing in what way? Traffic warden controls it. Moped riders can ride across it. It has 2 flashing lights. Cyclists can ride across it. What will be the right answer? Now, Birhan, it's not 3. It's 4, okay? Cyclists can ride across it. Cyclists can ride across it. So toucan crossing is for pedestrian plus cyclist as well. Question number 75. What do these road markings mean? What do these road markings mean? Broken white line next to double yellows. 73 was answer number 3. Question number 75. What do these road markings mean? Broken white line next to double yellows. Loading, unloading area, cycle lane, motorcycle and cycle lane, pedestrian route. So what's this area? This is, well done Adam, congrats. So this is cycle lane. That's a cycle lane. Cycle lane. That's a cycle lane. Question number 75. The answer is number 2, cycle lane. Question number 76. You approach an open railway level crossing. There are no gates, barriers, attendant, or traffic signals. What should you do? You approach an open railway level crossing. There are no gates, barriers, attendant, or traffic signals. What should you do? Expect train to stop. Road traffic has priority. Sound your horn and continue without stopping. Look both ways, listen, and make sure no train is coming before you cross. Wait for another vehicle so you can cross side by side. And the right answer is number 3. Look both ways, listen, and make sure no train is coming before you cross. So for question number 76, the right answer is number 3. Question number 77. What must you do when you hitch an unbraked trailer to a towing vehicle? So in the question, they might ask you about the unbraked trailer, or they might not mention this. But either way, the answer would be same thing, okay? So what must you do when you hitch an unbraked trailer to a towing vehicle? What will be the answer? So the right answer would be fit a secondary coupling device. Fit a secondary coupling device. Well done, FG. Congratulations. Walaikum salam. Question number 78. What should you do to correct a rear wheel skid? What should you do to correct a rear wheel skid? Steer into it, not steer at all. Steer away from it, apply your handbrake. The right answer is steer into it, okay? Steer into it. Finto, that's not the right answer. Steer into it. Question number 79. How will a bright sunlight affect your long journey? How will bright sunlight affect your long journey? It will affect your concentration. It will improve your long distance vision. It will help you go faster. It will make your car more economical. So it will affect your concentration, or it will reduce your concentration, or it will reduce or affect your concentration. They're both the right answers. So it will affect your concentration. Number 1. Question number 80. Your indicators are difficult to see due to bright sunlight. What should you do to let other road users know your intentions? So because of the sunlight, other drivers cannot because of the sunlight, other drivers cannot see your indicators. What will you do? How would you let the traffic know behind you of your intentions? Because of the sunlight, the drivers that's behind you, they cannot see your indicators. If you're turning right or if you're turning left, how would you let the traffic behind know what you want to do? How would they know? Give an arm signal. What would you do? You give an arm signal with your hand. See, we studied that. Give an arm signal, which is, you see, arm signal. See, like this. We use arm signals. We use arm signals. So we use arm signals to let them know. Okay. So we use give an arm signal. That would be the right answer, number 3. So your indicators are difficult to see due to bright sunlight. What should you do to let other road users know your intentions? Give an arm signal. Okay, so question number 81. What is the speed limit after this sign? 30, 40, 60, 70. So when you pass this sign, what will be your speed limit? That is 60 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. It's not 30, it's not 40, it's 60 miles per hour. Does anyone know why it's 60 miles? When you cross this sign, why the speed limit is 60? Does anyone know? نه 50 نیست. وقتی که از یکی تیر شویم یکی از ثانیه. So this is the sign for a dual carriageway. Exactly. We get into single carriageway. So when dual carriageway finishes, single carriageway starts. That's why the speed limit will be exactly single carriageway starts. Okay. Question 82. What should you do as you approach this bridge? What should you do as you approach this bridge? That's a hump bridge. So what should you do when you approach a hump bridge? Move to the right side of the road, find another route, consider using your horn, get over the bridge as quick as possible as you have way. Yep, so the right answer will be consider using your horn. Consider using your horn. And another answer for the same question is, does anyone remember the other answer for the same question? What would you do when you approach hump bridge? You reduce your speed, slow down. Reduce your speed or slow down. Okay, so consider using your horn or slow down. Yeah, exactly. So the answer in here is consider using your horn. Question number 83. Where would your vehicle cause an obstruction? Where would your vehicle cause an obstruction? At a one-way street? The answer for 81 is 60. So where would your vehicle cause an obstruction? At a one-way street, Brofer Hill, multi-story car park at a lay-by. What will be the right answer? Yeah, it's at a brow of a hill. The right answer is at a brow of a hill. That's the right answer. Does anyone remember any other answer for this question? Where would your vehicle cause an obstruction? Where the curb has been lowered for wheelchairs. That's another answer. Where the curb has been lowered for wheelchairs. And does anyone remember any other answer for this question? Entrance to a property. So if you park in the entrance of anyone's property, you're also causing an obstruction. So there are a few answers for this question. There are a lot of answers for this question, to be fair. Okay, so in here the right answer is at a brow of a hill. Where would your vehicle cause an obstruction? It's at a brow of a hill. Question number 84. What is the national speed limit for cars in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway? What is the national speed limit for cars in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway? No, it's not 60. It's 70. It's 70, guys, okay? It's not 60, it's 70. What is the national speed limit? Oh, well done, Diamond. So what's the national speed limit for cars in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway? The right answer is 70 miles per hour. Question number 85. You are driving in fog. Why should you keep wheel back from the vehicle in front? Dual carriageway is 70 as well. Motorway is 70 as well. You're driving in fog. Why should you keep wheel back from the vehicle in front? The right answer is in case it stops suddenly. In case it stops suddenly. Thank you, Tafata. In case it stops suddenly. Number 4. Okay. You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? Thanks, Fatima. You're traveling along a motorway. Where would you find a crawler or climbing lane? The right answer is on a steep gradient. On a steep gradient. And why do we have an extra lane for heavy goods vehicle or a slow moving vehicle? Why do we have crawler lane or climbing lane? What's the reason for climbing lane or crawler lane? Why do we have that? Does anyone know why do we have a crawler or climbing lane? What's the reason for crawler or climbing lane? Why do we have crawler or climbing lane? It is for heavy goods vehicle, but why? What's the reason that we have an extra lane for heavy goods vehicle? The reason for that. What's the reason? The reason for that is, so you see this is the lane for heavy goods vehicle. So heavy vehicle or slow moving vehicle, no obstruction, exactly. So they don't obstruct the traffic that's going in these 2 lanes, because the traffic that will be going in these 2 lanes, they will be faster than the heavy goods vehicle or the slow moving vehicle. That's why there is an extra lane for them. Okay, so they don't block their way. That's the reason for crawler or climbing lane. So the answer would be on a steep gradient. On a steep gradient. Guys, make sure you know the reasons behind the answers, okay? Reason behind the answers are more important than the answers itself. Because once you know the reasons, even if they change the wording, you will still remember the answer. Question number 87. When should you use your horn in an emergency situation? Yes, you can. When should you use your horn in an emergency situation? To alert other drivers of your presence if you are overtaking. To warn other road users of potential danger, but only if they are unaware. To express your frustration with another driver's behavior. When approaching a pedestrian crossing, to warn pedestrian. So the right answer will be, thank you Muntali for subscribing. The right answer will be number 2, which is to warn other road users of potential danger, but only if they are unaware. Number 3, sorry, number 2 is the right answer. Okay, number 2, to warn other road users of potential danger, but only if they are unaware. Question number 88. If you drink alcohol, what is likely to happen? If you drink alcohol, what is likely to happen? You will be able to concentrate better. You will have less confidence. You will make poorer decisions. You will have quicker reactions. This question literally comes in to everyone. You will definitely see this question in the test. And the right answer is you will make poorer decisions. Poorer decisions. You will make poorer decision. Does anyone know? Does anyone remember any other answer for this question? So one answer is you will make poorer decisions. Any other answers? If anyone remember, please write down the answers. So one is poorer decisions. More confidence, exactly. Increased confidence. That's another. No, increase confidence. No less. More confidence. More confidence. No, Alia, that's a wrong answer. So it's slower reaction, not quick reaction. Your reaction will be slower. Okay. So slower reaction, poorer decision, more confidence, and your ability to judge speed will be reduced. Your ability to judge speed will be reduced. That's one. Poorer decision, number 2. Increased confidence, number 3. Slower reaction, number 4. So remember these questions, guys. These answers, it definitely comes in the test. Okay, so that's, if you drink alcohol, what is likely to happen? Slower reaction, number 1. Increased confidence, number 2. Poorer decision, number 3. Your ability to judge speed will be reduced. That's number 4. So that's all the 4 answers. So in here, for question number 88, the right answer is number 3. You will make a poorer decision. Question number 89. A single carriageway road has this sign: maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer. So that's the sign. What would be maximum allowed speed? 50 miles. It's 50. The right answer is 50. Normally on a single carriageway, the speed limit is 60, but when you're towing a trailer or caravan, then it's -10, so it's going to be 50 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. Question number 90. How to avoid being dazzled by the sun glare while you're driving? How to avoid being dazzled by the sun glare while you're driving? سوال 88 سیوم سا جواب صحیح بود. The right answer is keep your windscreen shield clean. Keep your windshield clean and free of cracks. Keep your windshield clean and free of cracks. Question number 91. When are you allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? When are you allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? Between 11:30 p.m. and 6 a.m. on any road. between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. in a built-up area, between 7 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. in a built-up area, at any time in a built-up area. What would be the right answer? Sorry guys, I'm not really feeling well. What will be the right answer? Bali monde mujhe the YouTubers. So the right answer is between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. in a built-up area. So remember guys, you see the question is, when are you allowed? When are you allowed? So you are allowed from 7 a.m. in the morning to 11 p.m. in the night, okay? And if the question says, when are you not allowed? When are you not allowed? Then what would be the answer? You can message me on TikTok. What would be the answer if it says, when are you not allowed? Not allowed is 11:30 to 7 a.m. Exactly, from 11:30 to 7 a.m. That would be the right answer. Just make sure you read the question properly, okay? Oh, thank you, Akbiru. Okay, so when are you allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? Between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. in a built-up area. The answer is number 3. What is the cause of uneven tire wear? Faulty exhaust system, faulty gearbox, faulty suspension, or faulty accelerator? What is the cause of uneven tire wear? Faulty exhaust system, faulty gearbox, faulty suspension, faulty accelerator. What will be the answer? Yeah, the right answer is suspension, a faulty suspension. There is another answer for the same question. Does anyone remember the answer? Look guys, you see, why faulty suspension? Guys, remember, if you don't understand any question, please ask, okay? If you don't know why because of the faulty suspension, please ask, okay? So you remember. Okay. If you look in here, that's where the braking system is, okay? That's where the braking system is. You see inside this red circle? That's where the braking system is. So whenever we have fault in the braking system, and because that's where the tires are, that's the tires, where the tire is, because of the fault in the braking system, it will affect your tires. It will damage your tires, okay? That's one answer. And this area inside this red circle, this red lines, see all this area, these are parts of suspension. You see all these are parts of suspension. Okay, so whenever we have fault in the suspension, which is all these parts, if we have problem anywhere in these parts, that will also affect your tires, okay? That would also damage your tires. So make sure, if you don't understand any question, please do ask. Okay, so the answer would be, what's the cause of uneven tire wear? A faulty suspension. So one answer is a faulty suspension, and the other answer is faulty braking system. Okay, so they both the right answers. Make sure guys, reasons, and you must know exactly what it means. Okay, do not memorize question answers, because that will not help you, and because you need all these information. So question number 93, where is the best place to learn how to reverse with your caravan? So where should you learn how to reverse your caravan? In which area? One-way street, residential street, quiet parking, busy main road. The right answer would be quiet parking space. But if a question comes, where would be dangerous to reverse with your caravan, then you know what would be the answer? Where would be dangerous to reverse with your caravan? Does anyone know then what would be the answer? In here it says, the question says, where's the best place? So what will be the worst place? The worst place would be all these. So number 1, that's the worst place. Number 2, that's also worst place. Number 4, that's also the worst place. Okay, so all these 3, these are the worst places. So that's where it will make danger for other road users. Only this one place is the suitable place or the best place. Okay, so make sure you, if they flip the questions, make sure you know the answers to that as well. So where is the best place to learn how to reverse with your caravan? The right answer will be quiet parking space. That's why always check the other answers as well. Okay, so quiet parking space. Number 3 would be the right answer. You're on a red route. What does a single red line tells you? You are on a red route. Yeah, that's right. C is the answer for that one. You are on a red route. What does a single red line tells you? A single red line. Okay, so they're asking about single red line. Okay, single red line and double red line. What's the difference between single and double line? If you look at the double line, it says no stopping at any time. No stopping at any time. And this one, no stopping, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So from morning 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening, we are not allowed to park in here. But are we allowed, if there is this red line and if it's 8 p.m., are we allowed to stop in here or not? So if we get to a road where when the time is 8 p.m. and we see a single red line, will be allowed? Yes, we are, exactly. So make sure you understand it, okay? So which means so sometimes we will be allowed and sometimes we will not be allowed. So when will we be allowed? Out of these times, outside times of operation. Sign Narazi. Make sure, guys, these signs will not be there in the question, okay? These signs will not be there in the questions. Remember that, guys, okay? So you're on a red route. What does a single red line tells you? What would be the answer? Yeah, so the right answer will be no stopping allowed in the times shown, or they might change it to say, for example, no stopping at certain times. They will also be the right answer, okay? Just remember, it could be no stopping allowed in the time shown, or they may say no stopping at certain times. But it means it's not 24 hours, okay? This is not 24 hours. Single line is not 24 hours. Double lines are 24 hours. Okay, so the right answer would be no stopping allowed in the times showing or the time shown. When emerging from junction, what's most likely to block your views? When emerging from junctions, what is most likely to block your views? Windscreen, steering wheel, windscreen pillars, rear view mirror, windscreen wipers. Yeah, that's a windscreen pillar. Because of windscreen pillar, see, that's a windscreen pillar, guys. So the answer would be a windscreen pillar, which is number 2. If you don't understand any question, please do ask, okay? So that's windscreen pillar. It's not an app. Okay, question number 96. You are on a motorway and see an incident on the other side. Your lane is clear. What should you do? You are on a motorway and see an incident on the other side. Your lane is clear. What should you do? Help the emergency services. Focus on the road ahead. Stop and cross to assist. Place a warning triangle on the road. Yeah, so what would you do? The right answer will be, you see, make sure you read the question properly, okay? So let's see. So what it says. So basically, an accident happened on the other side of the road, okay? And your lane is clear. So your lane is clear. There is no one in front of you. There are no cars in front of you. What should you do? If you stop, you will block the way. And there are emergency services to help them. So you don't need to go and help. Because there are emergency services, they can help. So what do? Focus on the road. You focus on the road. Don't block the road, okay? Basically, mind your own business. You focus on the road. Okay, so question number 96, the answer is number 2. Question 97, you are reversing into a side road. When is the greatest risk to passing traffic? You are reversing into a side road. When is the greatest risk to passing traffic? After you complete the maneuver, just before you start the maneuver, when the front of your vehicle swings out, after entering the side road. Okay. The right answer is when the front of your vehicle swings out. But do you understand what it means? The right answer is this: when the front of your vehicle swings out. That's the right answer. But make sure you know exactly why this is the right answer, okay? So make sure you know why that's the right answer. So whenever we're reversing, okay, I'll explain this just a second. Whenever we're reversing, so if you look in here, so whenever we start to reverse, so say if you want to park in here, yeah, so when you start to reverse, your front will swing out or not. So when you start to reverse, if you want to park in here and you start from there, the front of your vehicle will swing out. That's what's gonna happen. So if you start to reverse, the front of your vehicles will swing out, and that could become a risk to passing traffic. Does that make sense? So when you start to reverse, the front of your vehicle will swing out, and that's, you see, this gonna make a hazard for the passing traffic, okay? So make sure you understand exactly what it means, okay? Like in here, you see, that's a hazard for passing traffic, okay? So when the front of your vehicle swings out, okay, so you are reversing into a side road. When is the greatest risk to passing traffic? The right answer will be when the front of your vehicle swings out. کله چې تاسو د موټر مخه بیرون ته وځي، ګوره چې تاسو کله ریورس کوئ د موټر مخه بیرون ته وځي، نو چې دا که موټران چې څنګ ته تیریږي هغې ته خطر جوړوي. So the answer will be number 3, when the front of your vehicle swings out. Question number 98. Under what condition may you enter a box junction? Under what condition may you enter a box junction? This is a bit easy one. So when your exit road is clear. When your exit road is clear. Question number 99. You are turning left on a slippery road. What should you do if the rear of your vehicle skids to the right? You are turning left on the slippery road. What should you do if the rear of your vehicle slides or skids to the right? Steer gently to the left, steer gently to the right, brake firmly without turning the steering wheel, brake firmly in, steer to the right. Guys, if you don't understand, please ask, okay? Because you all got it wrong. Okay, you all got it wrong. Okay, so just let's listen carefully. So this is the back of your vehicle. So the back of your vehicle, wait guys. Okay, so that's the back of your vehicle. If the back of your vehicle skids or slides to the right, so that's the back, it slides to the right. If it's icy road, the back of your vehicle slides to the right. Which way you will turn the steering wheel? Which way you will turn your wheels? So if the back of your vehicle slides to the right, which way you will turn your wheel? So if this is your vehicle, if it's sliding to the right, how will you bring your vehicle back in control? How will you bring it back in control? Okay, listen guys. So if this back is skidding to the right, if you steer to the left, if you steer to the other side, what will happen? The vehicle will turn around. So what do? You steer to the right. Can you see this arrow? You steer to the right, okay? You steer to the right. You steer to this side where this arrow is. You steer to the right. Okay? So if the back of your vehicle skid to the right, you steer to the right. If the back of your vehicle skid to the left, you skid to the left. So same side, okay? It will balance exactly. It will balance it. So if the back of your vehicle skid to the right, you turn the steering to the right, to the same side, okay? Same side. So if the back is to the right, turn the steering to the right. Does that make sense? Guys, did you get that? Yep. So same side, okay? If it skids to the right, you turn the steering to the right. If it skids to the left, turn the steering to the left. Same side. But because it says, look, so the question was, what should you do if the rear of your vehicle skids to the right? So if it skids to the right, gently steer to the right. Steer into it, okay? Steer into. So you steer to the right. Make sure you remember, if in the question they says, what should you do if the rear of your vehicle skids to the left? Then the answer will be, you steer into the left. So same side, okay? So if the back skids to right, you turn right. Turn the steering to the right. Okay, so same side, okay? Same side, exactly. Same side. Just remember, same side. You're steering into. You're steering into the skid. Okay, so the right answer in here will be steer gently to the right, because it says skids to the right. So question number 99, the answer is number 2. Question number 100. At an incident, you suspect a casualty has back injuries. The area is safe. What should you do? At an incident, you suspect a casualty has back injuries. The area is safe. You see, that's the most important part of the question. Make sure you read the question properly, okay? And that's the main part of the question. So the area is safe. What should you do? Avoid moving them. Avoid moving them. Don't move. Exactly, that's the right answer. Question number 101. What does a continuous solid white line in the middle of the road mean? What does a solid white line in the middle of the road mean? So what's this? What does this solid line mean? What does this solid line mean? This is a solid white line. If this was, if this had, if these were long lines with short gaps, this is, if it's a solid line, whenever you see a solid line, you should not cross it. You should not overtake. If it's a solid line, in here you are not allowed to overtake. You are not allowed to overtake. Okay, this is not hazard line. Hazard warning line, the hazard warning line is different, guys. Let me show you a hazard warning line. Hazard warning line is like this one. Wait, hazard warning line. This is hazard warning line. See, this is hazard warning line. Okay, this is hazard warning line. Long line with short gaps. This is hazard warning line. But if it's a solid line, you should never cross a solid line. So no overtaking. This is no overtaking. Okay, no overtaking. There is exception. There is exception. You are only allowed to overtake. Does anyone remember the answer? There is an exception where you can overtake. Does anyone remember? There is only one exception. Exactly, 10 miles or less. So if there is a car that's traveling in 10 miles or less, then you can overtake. If there is a car that's traveling in 10 miles or less, then you can overtake. Otherwise, no overtaking. And why would, if it's, so why would we need to overtake a 10-mile-per-hour car? Because if we not, it will block, we will block the road. So if there is a car that's traveling in 10 miles or less, then we can overtake. Okay, and the hazard line is like this. Okay, if anyone don't know about hazard warning line, this is a hazard warning line. Okay, so it's a long white lines with gaps. Okay, so it's a long lines with gaps in small gaps in between. Okay, so so question number 101, what does a continuous solid white line in the middle of the road mean? No overtaking. No overtaking. Hazard mean danger. Question number 102, what does a long white line with short gaps indicate? Oh, we got this question. Look, Coco, that was the question. We just had that. Thank you, Fatima. So what does a long white line with short gaps indicate? So the answer is hazard warning line, which we just went through. You see, they're talking about this line. See, that's what they're talking about. Okay, that's what they're talking about. Guys, I'm putting all these videos in YouTube. So if you did not follow my YouTube channel, that's the name, guys. Please do subscribe there. I'm putting all these videos there and you can watch it. So if you just search DPU Theory UK, it's a whole playlist there and you can watch all these. Okay, so that was what does a long white line with short gaps indicate? That's hazard warning line. Hazard warning line. No, I never went live in there. I'm gonna try to go live. I think I need to get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can go. But I'm recording this. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. Screen zoom. Okay. What additional precautions should you take if you must park on a hill facing downwards in a manual car? Okay, guys, this is a little bit tricky. Let's explain this first. Let's go through this, explain it first, and then we can go to the answers. Okay, so if you parking your car facing downhill, if you're parking your car facing downhill, what do? Steering towards the curb or away from the curb? Downhill towards the curb or away from the curb? Exactly, towards the curb. Towards, okay? So downhill towards the curb, towards the curb. So first gear or reverse gear? Which gear should we put in? First or reversed? First gear or reverse gear? Should we put it in first or reverse? Exactly, reverse. So if you think of it logically, you should put it in reverse. In case if it's moving, if it's sliding down, the reverse catch will help, like it will work like a choke. It will stop it from moving. So reverse. Towards the curb, reverse. Towards the curb and reverse. Okay. So that's for downwards. And if it's upwards, then reverse or first. So if it's uphill, first gear and towards, okay? So sorry, first gear and away from the curb. First gear away from the curb, okay? First gear and away from the curb. Okay, first away. Very good, guys. So make sure you're reading the question properly and then you answer, okay? So make sure you read the question properly and you answer. So the question is, what additional precautions should you take if you must park on a hill facing downwards in a manual car? If it's downwards, then what do we do? 1 second more, I'll show you the page. Turn this okay, so turn the wheel towards the curb and select reverse gear. So that will be number 2. Why away from the curb? So why away from the curb? The reason for away from the curb is, you see, if you look in here, 1 second, guys. If you look in here, the curb will work as a choke. So if it will stop it from moving, you see? So it will stop it from moving. That's why away from the curb, look. So you can stop your vehicle from moving. That's why. Okay, so the question number 103, the answer is number 2. Same question, but it's now talking about uphill, okay? So what additional precaution should you take when parking on a hill facing uphill in a manual car? So it says, I just explained the answer. So turn the steering wheel away from the curb and select first gear. So that will be the answer. Turn the steering wheel away from the curb and select first gear. That will be the answer. Okay, guys, do you understand this now? Yep. So make sure you know the reasons, okay? And the reason is so you stop your vehicle from moving. And these are very, very important information, guys. You know, when you pass your license, you will definitely need all these information. Okay, so turn the steering wheel away from the curb and select. You don't understand. Okay, question number 105. You're driving at night, a slower vehicle ahead has been signaling right for some time. What should you do? You're driving at night, a slower vehicle ahead has been signaling right for some time. What should you do? Guys, if you don't understand, please ask at the end, okay? And I'll try to explain that. What should you do? Wait until the signal is cancelled before overtaking. Wait until the signal is cancelled before overtaking. That's the right answer. So question 105. Wait until the signal is cancelled before overtaking, because if you try to overtake, they might just turn in front of you. So that's why you should wait until they stop the indicator. Okay, you should not try to overtake. So wait until the signal is cancelled before overtaking. Wa alaikum salam, wa alaikum salam. Wait until the signal is cancelled before overtaking. Question number 106. What can cause heavy steering? What can cause heavy steering? What can cause heavy steering? Yeah, puncture tires, exactly. So underinflated tires. When you have less pressure in the tires. Okay, so underinflated tires. Underinflated tires. Exactly. It's same, when you don't have pressure in your tire, you can't change this. You can't change the direction, isn't it? So same for the car as well. So underinflated tires. And same, when you have underinflated tires, it will also affect your stopping distance. It also affect your vehicle will use more fuel. To be fair, in case there are some things of the car is same as like bicycle. There are some things like this one. So underinflated tires, steering, heavy steering. So number 3 will be the right answer. Question number 107. In an emergency stop, it is necessary to check mirrors before braking, not necessary to check mirrors before braking, only necessary to check mirrors if you wish, or necessary to check door mirrors before braking. Hazard dalta video shtade agadar sarogore yozel nadagi. Okay, so who think this is the right answer? Necessary to check mirrors before braking. Who think this is the right answer? Number 1. Who think number 1 is the right answer? Which is logical, which makes sense. You have to check your mirrors because a vehicle behind you could be a vehicle behind you. But think of you're driving on a main road. You're driving on a main road, and a car comes out in front of you all of a sudden, and you only got 1 meter or 2 meters to stop. What will you do? Will you look in your mirror, or will you put your foot on the brake? What will you do first? Will you brake, or will you look in the mirror? What will you do? Will you brake, or will you look in the mirror? Foot on the brake, or you look in the mirror? So literally you got like half a second, not even a second. You will go for the brake. Exactly. You will go for the brake. The reason is because if you look in the mirror, maybe there is a car that's not close. Like there is a chance there may be no car behind you, but you don't have a choice in front of you. So if the vehicle in front just jumps in, you don't have a choice to brake. So in an emergency brake, you don't need to. It's not necessary to check your mirrors, okay? So make sure the answers make sense to you. So not necessary to check mirrors before braking. So the right answer is number 2, not necessary to check mirrors before braking. Okay, so number 2. Does that make sense now? Not necessary to check mirrors before braking. All agree? Yeah. Oh, salamuna. not necessary to check mirrors before braking. Question number 108. Casualty has an injured arm. They can move freely, but it's bleeding. Why should you get them to keep it in a raised position? Casualty has an injured arm. They can move freely, but it's bleeding. Why should you get them to keep it in a raised position? Yeah, so blood flow. It will help reduce the blood flow to avoid bleeding. Yeah, to avoid bleeding, it will reduce the blood flow. Exactly. It will not reduce the blood flow. It will reduce the, I don't know how to say in English, but it will reduce the loss of the blood. It will reduce the loss of the blood. So it will help reduce the blood flow. Yeah, loss of the blood basically. So it will help reduce the blood flow. Yeah, so number 3 will be the right answer. Question number 109. You expect that an injured person may be suffering from shock. What are the warning signs to look for? You expect that an injured person may be suffering from shock. What are warning signs to look for? Okay, basically they're all the right answers. Okay, these all are the right answers. So make sure if this one comes, this is the right answer. If this comes, this is the right answers. The right answer. If this comes, so they're all the right answers. Okay, and just put all the right answers here, so you remember in case if any of this come, you could this come, this the right answer. So one of these will be there. Okay, so just read all of it so you remember. Rapid pulse, sweating, pale grey skin, rapid shallow breathing. You see in the apps we only learn about rapid shallow breathing. We only have this one, but the other 3, these are also the right answer. Okay, or could be, what is it called, clammy skin? It's called clammy skin, isn't it? You know, sweating, clammy skin. I think it's CLAMY skin. That's also the right answer. Clammy skin. Is that the right spelling? Clammy skin, yeah. That's also, I think it's not double M, it's M. Is it double M or single M? So clammy skin is also, yeah, clammy skin, that's also the right answer. Okay, so just remember they're all the right answers for the same question. So you expect an injured person may be suffering from shock. What are the warning signs to look for? Double M, okay. That's fine. So that's clammy skin. So these are all the right answer plus clammy skin. Question number 110. Driving a vehicle with anti-lock brakes allows you to brake harder because it's impossible to skid, drive at high speed, pay less attention to the road ahead, steer and brake at the same time. Okay, you see, why is it called anti-lock? Do you know why anti-lock brakes are called anti-lock? Does anyone know why these are called anti-lock? Anti-lock. The reason for that is, you know, the braking system that we had before, whenever we would use the brakes, the wheels would get locked, and then whenever we were using the brakes, we couldn't use the steering. We couldn't steer the car, so the steering would not work because the wheels would get locked, and then we could not change the direction of the vehicle because the wheels would have been locked. So that was the system that we had before. So that was just a normal braking system. But with the anti-lock means where the wheels does not get locked. So whenever you're using the brakes, you can also change the direction of your vehicle as well. So same time you can brake and you can also steer your vehicle as well. You can change the direction of your vehicle. Okay, but the ABS system کې داسې وي چې تاسو کولی شئ د بریک په ټایم وهلو په وخت کې تاسو د موټر ډایرکشن هم چینج کولی شئ. So anti-lock, whenever you have anti-lock braking system, with the anti-lock braking system, when you're braking, you can also steer as well. Okay, same time, but before when the vehicle did not have anti-lock braking system, whenever we were using the braking system, the wheels would get locked and then we were not allowed or we couldn't steer the vehicle. But with the anti-lock braking system, we at the same time when we're braking, you can steer as well. We can change the direction of the vehicle as well. So the answer will be, what will be the answer? Driving a vehicle with anti-lock brakes allows you to what will be the right answer? Well done, Harpreet. Yeah, exactly. So steer and brake at the same time. Okay, that's why it's called anti-lock, because the wheel does not get locked. That's why it's called anti-lock. So when you're using the brakes, you can change direction as well. So steer and brake at the same time. Steer and brake at the same time. Okay. So for question number 110, the right answer is steer and brake at the same time. Question 109, they're all the right answers. Question number 111, your engine catches fire. What should you do when your vehicle engine catches fire? What should you do? Lift the bonnet and disconnect the battery. Lift the bonnet and warn other traffic. Call the fire brigade. Call a breakdown service. Guys, if any one of you did not follow me, please do follow, guys, and please share the live with your friends. Thank you. So could you please, everyone, just share the live with 5 of your friends. And if you did not follow, please do follow, guys. So what would be the right answer? What do? Call the fire brigade. You call the fire brigade. Call the fire brigade. Your engine catches fire. What should you do? Call the fire brigade. Guys, any question, ask at the end, okay? And we can go through that as well. Question number 112. You are driving in heavy rain. Your steering suddenly becomes very light. What should you do? You are driving in heavy rain. Your steering suddenly becomes very light. What should you do? Steer towards the side of the road. Apply gentle acceleration. Ease off the accelerator. Brake firmly to reduce speed. What would you do? No, you don't. No, me, that's a wrong answer. You don't. No, brake firmly. No, firmly. No. The right answer is no, guys. Most of you guys got it wrong. Slow down, okay? You slow down. And how would you slow down? Okay, so you're driving in heavy rain. Your steering suddenly becomes very light. What should you do? You should slow down. And how will you slow down? How will you slow down? How will you slow down? Ease off the accelerator. Ease off the accelerator. Okay, so ease off the accelerator. So either the answer will be ease off the accelerator or slow down. They're both the right answer. Ease off the accelerator. Okay, so for question number 112, the answer will be number 3, which is ease off the accelerator. Question number, I think this is a repeat question. You're turning left on a slippery road. The back of your vehicle slides to the right. What should you do? What will be the answer? Brake firmly and not turn the steering wheel. Steer carefully to the right. Brake firmly and steer to the left. Steer carefully to the left. What will be the right answer? Yeah, this is it. No, that's not the right answer. Steer to the right. Okay, so steer carefully to the right.